Hey, what's up? All right, so for today's video, it's actually been quite a while since I did one of these. So I'm focusing on cover four palms and cover four quarters. Now, this video is probably going to be more palms heavy. Well, that didn't sound right, but I'm going to focus more on palms probably in this video. And the assignments they're going to change for every formation. So when there's doubles, when there's a spread like this, when there's trips, if there's three receivers to one side, three and one on the other side. So the assignments are going to change with every single alignment. And then within those alignments, it's also going to change based off the route combos. So I'll break it into different videos so it's not one long video. So for this one, we're going to focus primarily on cover four palms and how it plays against doubles. Okay, so for this double set, cover four palms actually has a hidden cover two within it. So I'm going to throw the ball away just so I can reset the coverages here. All right, so we're in cover four palms. Now, as I was just saying, it has a hidden cover two. That's actually kind of cool in my opinion. Now, the cover two, when we're going against cover four palms, it only activates versus a doubles type of set when there's two receiving options spread out, like we see on the left side with Godwin in the slot and Evans split out wide. However, it's only going to activate cover two zone if they're both of those guys are running shallow routes, or we have a quick shallow route and a vertical threat. So I'm going to put in a typical cover two beater, a flat and a streak. And again, we're going against cover four palms, and it's going to turn into cover two. So I'm going to run to replay really quick. All right, so as I was saying, this nickelback, it's going to start off as cover four. It's almost as if they're disguising their coverage. So the nickelback and the outside corner, their first few steps are all going to be as if it's cover four. So he's going to his hook zone. Excuse me, his quarter flat. He's going to his deep quarters, and then he's going to break back inside as if he's on a yellow zone, and the cornerback is going to break back down on. He's going to be real aggressive. So if a quarterback, if the user's throwing the ball like those quick outs or quick flats, if he thinks he has the flats open because you're not in cover two, he could actually be baited and throwing a pick six because again, it's a disguise, it's a hidden cover two within cover four. Now on the backside, it's actually going to be I could do the same route combo on the backside, but on the backside it's going to play cover four. Because as I mentioned, it's only going to be on a double set. It's going to be where there's two receivers split out wide. So with Gronk lined up in tight, even though it's the same route combo, they're going to treat it as quarters over there. So the cornerback goes deep, the quarter flat defender plays the flat, and it was cover four. So now if I was to split Gronk out wide and put him in that same flat, actually I'll put flats on both of the slots. And this is a spread. Look, this is like a gun spread, but as far as quarters is concerned, it's doubles on both sides of the field. So versus palms, the doubles on both sides of the field will convert to cover two. It make the defense play cover two. Now, if you look at the deep middle of the field, just like a regular cover two, that's where you're most vulnerable. And typically, most users versus the cover two, they may put like the middle linebacker on a deep third, a deep blue, to protect. But yeah, if you look at both sides, they're identical. So it's almost as if they're doing it in sequence with each other. Like it's like timed perfectly. He lets him get about 10 yards, then he breaks and comes back down and plays the flat. And the inside linebacker, he goes back to the yellow zone. And the same thing on this side of the field. Now, also, what I like about palms versus the any cover four, whether it's quarters or whether it's cover four drop show two. I'm gonna pick that right now. Cover four drop show two. So a few things with the drop show too. There's easy ways to beat cover four. So to the left side of the field, you'll see a flat and a quick inside dig, and there's a void that opens up right there. I could have caught it and turned it and probably picked up an extra 5 yards. So these aren't like glitches or anything. This is just routes that are designed to manipulate and beat cover four. So we could beat cover four across the middle like that with a deep dig, a shallow down and in, and sending your running back outside to hold the flat out there. Now, if I was to go right back into to cover four quarters, or cover four palms, I should say, and try those same cover four beaters I just did, it doesn't work. So let me go ahead and recreate it. So now cover four palms, as I said at the beginning of the video, on the left side, the double side, if we have two shallow routes, even though it looks like it's cover four, it's going to switch into cover two. So this quick flat and that down and in will not work versus cover two. The linebacker and the nickel back, basically, the one right up in front of triangle, instead of playing the flat, he's going to jump right there on that down and in. So where I just hit him at earlier, that was wide open, he's covered almost all the way across the field. And if I was to try to throw that as a cover four beater, that's going the other way. And then with the come on, all right. So with the cover four beater, I show with the deep dig and the shallow down and in with the running back out, to hold the guy outside. I can still get it open, but it's not going to be as wide open as, and I got hit, but it's not as open as the it was versus the standard cover four. Now, also, I kind of started on this and I got away from it a couple minutes ago. The cover four versus cover two. So I showed how it converts to cover two. I'm actually going to put a true cover two up here and do that same flat street combo on the left side. This is a standard cover two beater. And there's a window right there. Actually, I threw that too soon. I wasn't patient. Let me do that over. Okay, so we're going to put the defense back in cover two. And that same cover two beater, the fade street combo, fade flat combo, I should say. Let them get a fit a little bit more. And that'll be cover two all day, every day. So now with cover four palms, that same route combo is actually not going to work. Actually, let me show you why it's so open versus cover two, so it'll make more sense versus cover four. So cover two, actual cover two, the corner is always going to press. And let's backtrack a bit. If we look at the sideline and look at the numbers, all right. So Evans, he's actually closer to the numbers than he is to the sideline, and he's just going straight, going vertical. Now the press actually pushes him much closer to the sideline than he was going to go originally. So he ends up being about 2 yards away from the sideline when he probably would have been maybe 6 or 7 yards from the sideline. So that actually gives the safety he has more ground to cover, and it's going to create that cover two beater void where it's behind the cornerback but underneath the safety in that small pocket over there. Again, you can dissect cover two with that all day, every day. Now, cover four palms, again, even though it's going to switch to cover two, that same window is not there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the replay, just have them run out of bounds really quick. So that same window, even though they're switching to cover two, is not there. For one, he doesn't get bumped and pushed all the way outside, so the safety doesn't have as much ground to cover. And maybe if it's a faster receiver like a Tyreek, you can probably air it out and it could be a foot race. But he has so much. He has a 10-yard cushion, and he doesn't get as deep as a typical cover two, but he plays it more aggressively. And they basically play cover two better out of the cover four palms than actual cover two, which actually doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm gonna cut this video here. Cover four quarters though, If I went to cover 4 quarters, it looks the same. For everything I just showed, cover 4 quarters will play like a standard cover 4, with the exception of the cover 2 beater. So the cover 4 beater that I just showed, the flat and the down and in versus quarters, that'll still be open, probably even more open. Outside of that, cover 4 quarters will play pretty much the same versus doubles. And in the next video, I'm gonna show you what happens when we introduce trips. It could be actual trips or just a motion receiver. So if there's a motion receiver versus quarters and palm, and this would be a teaser for the next video. So versus palms, he would man up against the slot. He would man up against the tight end. If it was quarters, he's going to play the flats, and he mans up against the slot. He mans up against the tight end, but he's on the opposite side of the field. So what happens is a lot of guys get themselves in trouble versus trips because they don't understand the assignments. And let's say if it's quarters, and again, he's manned up against the slot and he's manned up against the tight end, but you're looking at it as if, hey, they're going to do the PA crosses on me. He's safe over here. I can just come down, or I can maybe bring him down and cover inside zone. And again, if it's quarters, just put everybody on a streak. Actually, to clear it out a little more, I'm gonna put him on a on a corner. But again, this deep safety that I have, he's truly supposed to be manned up against Gronkowski in quarters. So if we were to hike it, Gronk is going to be wide open, uncovered. And what's happening to a lot of guys, they'll actually pick a defense not understanding when a deep defender is actually going to vacate his zone to actually play play man, because you would traditionally think he has a deep responsibility back here, so you can actually cheat. In actuality, he's actually in man coverage. So I'll get into what activates man versus what activates zone, and who's the safe person to user control, or who you want to leave alone versus trips versus bunch versus and it's going to change versus verts. It's going to change versus a flood concept versus PA crossers versus double drags versus a high or low. So I'm gonna cover all that in the next video. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, and stay tuned.